Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike at TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Jayco Eagle 330 RSTS travel trailer. You guys have picked a big, beautiful unit. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. First thing I want you to take note of is how far your slides are out. Now, normally you wouldn't arrive with them open. I did it so you can see how much room you're going to need. So you do have your slide on your campsite, and an awning to come out on that side as well. Then on your off-camp side, you've got these two big slides. With your bedroom one being the biggest one, make sure when you park you leave room for them to come out unhindered, preferably nothing hanging over top of them. Then I also want you to think about where your power is, toward the front of your off-camp side, and your docking station for water is going to be up here at the front of your off-camp side. Once you've arrived, you unhook your hitch. Hitchman will go over that with you. First thing you do is level your unit. Extend to lift up. Retract to bring down your power tongue jack. This also comes with a docking light. And should you need, if your power runs out on your battery, you do have a manual override and a hand crank to bring your tongue up and down. Speaking of power, check your posts on your terminals on your battery. Make sure them are nice and snug. You are bouncing this thing down the road. Once you got your unit level, I recommend throwing a level somewhere on the unit. Stick on one on the side about the middle. Have someone look when it's level. Once it's level, you're going to bring down our stabilizing jacks. Show them to you here. Come in your off-camp side compartment. And up here, you'll see front extend, rear retract, rear extend, rear retract, or front. So front extend, I'll just hold that down. Now remember, these are stabilizing jacks, they're not leveling jacks. Once you got your unit stable or level, you'll bring these down just to stabilize your unit. You'll see that sometimes one will run down individually, then the other one will come down. I wanted to stop it right here and show you what I do recommend are jack pads. So as you're coming down, have someone put a stabilizing jack pad down there. It's going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Better distribute the weight. Throw some of them down. You can pick them up in our store, and remember you do have a 10% off coupon. Run those down in the front. Head to the back of the unit. After you run down your front ones, go ahead and run down your rear. Do the same thing. Have someone back there and put the pad down. Once you've got your unit level and stable, next thing you're going to do is hook up our power and water. As I said, your power's here, 50 amp service. These new Furions, they go in and then they twist. Once they're twisted, tighten this washer on. That'll give you your power to your unit. Let me grab your dog bone. So at the end of your 50 amp service, if you need it, you have a 50 to 30 dog bone. And if you need to plug in a home, there's a 30 to 110. Got our power hooked up, we're going to go ahead and hook up our water. Coming up to our docking station. We made this really simple. We are hooking up to city water. Simply point them in opposite directions. Take your water pressure regulator, which you always want to use this water pressure regulator. It's going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what different campsites water's set at, so you always want to use these. Hook up your hose to your water pressure regulator, but before turning your water on, let's find your hot water heater. Actually, it's just the other side of this slide. Turn this knob. Then it's got to pull from here. All we're doing at this point, this will come right off here, is returning our drain plug. You may have left it out from last time you were camping. So put your drain plug in, put that in nice and tight. Sometimes plumber tape is necessary, but get that in there nice and tight, and then you can go ahead and turn on your water. Now once your water's been running for a little while, you come up here to this pressure release valve and pull on that, so you release air out of the lines. Once the air is out of the lines, you know your hot water tank is full, and you can turn it on from indoors. Note, there is an on-off switch down here. The only time you ever want to turn this on down here to turn on your hot water heater is if you're hooked up to 110. Up here, if your hot water heater doesn't seem to be working, come out here and look. These may be bubbled out. Push them back in. That'll reset it. Let's say we're going to go camping and we're not hooked up to city water. Put our water in the same spot. However, we're going to hook it up to dry camp. They made that simple. Point your green down, your blue to the right. Go ahead and fill it up. Now remember, when you're using potable water, if you're dry camping, that's when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. You can turn it on here, that light will come on, or you can turn it on from indoors. Got our water hooked up. Let's go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit, show you other things. You have this spray port here that this hose hooks up to. This is prepped for solar. If you get a solar panel, you can hook it up here. It'll trickle charge your batteries. Again, this is your light for your water pump. Right now it's on hot water bypass because your unit's been winterized. This is your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when dumping our black tanks. Your cable, satellite, and auxiliary hookups. Water and sanitize. This is where you put in your antifreeze in the wintertime. Your tanks. And then an area down here that you can open up to run all your hoses through, your water and whatnot. Up here in your front storage, you do have a light up in here. And again, your front leg extension, or your stabilizing jack extensions. You do have a low point drain here. It's going to be your fresh water tank low point drain. That handle to pull there. Coming around here, this is a little storage area. Coming around here again is your power. This is your furnace heat release. If you're running your furnace, steer clear of this, it'll get rather warm. Again, your hot water tank. Here's where you'll hook up your tank when dumping. This should be access to the back of your fridge. You have a low point drain here as well. If you get all the way up underneath here, you'll see that, which is a lot easier to access when the slide is closed. Come around the back of your unit, you do have your ladder. Go up and check your seams regularly, a couple times a year, caulk as needed. The unit is also prepped for a Furrion backup camera, should you decide to purchase one from our store. It's a device that sits on the dash of the tow vehicle, allowing you to electronically communicate with this and giving you a backup camera for the unit. Also remember that you have a 10% off coupon to use on anything that I mentioned getting from the stores. This is a manual crank for your spare tire. Right up underneath there's your spare tire. There's where your rear stabilizing jacks are at. I do recommend also when you arrive, go ahead and turn them down. They will catch, they won't go to a 90-degree angle so they won't hurt anything they'll catch. If you set them down like that, that'll allow that to come down nice and smooth. Your awnings, even though they've put a slide on this side, it doesn't take away from your campsite. You do have a light for up underneath the steps so you can see better at night. And your outdoor speakers. You also have a 110 and cable satellite hookup out here if you want to put a TV out here. And lastly, your pass-through storage. Here's your hand crank for manual overrides. And there's your crank for your spare tire. Furrion does sell a Bluetooth speaker that you can hook up to these. You have another spot indoors for those. Light in here, tire pressure. This is your battery disconnect. Shut that off, it shuts off all the battery power to the unit. So, This is going to come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide detector. Coming to the front of the unit, your propane tanks. I do want to mention that you have a regulator. Simply point this toward the tank that you wish to be using. Lefty-loosey to open. And that about covers everything out here. Let's go ahead and take a look inside your unit. First thing I always want to mention to everyone when you come inside the unit is make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows where the fire extinguisher is at. It's by the entry doorway in case of emergency. Slam lock doors. As soon as you walk in the entryway, coming up this wall panel here, you'll see several of these throughout the unit. These are simply temperature readers to help the thermostat work better. I'll go quickly to the top. This is just a template. Your unit is pre-wired for solar. If you ever decide to get solar power to this thing, this is a template for the techs to use. Here's our control panel. Let's start by showing you number 1 turns on all the lights. Number 2 and 3 are your awning lights. Here's where you turn on your water pump. Several places to do that. Here's where you extend or retract. Slide number 1. Awning number 2, awning number 1. Here's where you can pair your device. Shut it off. Slides 3, 2, and 1. For example, slide 1, we could hit retract. Now we'll start bringing back in the bedroom slide. Or you hit back to extend, now run that back out. I want you to hear that noise when you're running your slides out. Don't worry about hearing that. That's just the slide preventing itself from going up too far. Touch screen up here. You're on home. From here you can turn on your furnace. You can touch lights and go through the whole house, individually shut everything off. Go up here to gears and you can run your slides and your awnings out, in and out. Here's your temperature. Again, your lights. Here you can check your tire pressure, temperature on the fridge, and your power source. I'll get in more detail about running your slides and awnings in and out when we get ready to leave the campsite. Coming into your unit, I want to talk on the island real quick. You have a little pop-up USB 110 here. Push that in the store. On the side here is a pump that is for a drinking water that stores down underneath. Coming to your recliners. I like to call these a parachute pull. Simply reach inside here and pull up on that. You will have to use your feet to push it back down. You don't have to pull up on the handle. Next to your island here is 110 with GFCI reset. Come back here, you have 110 and USB ports. All of your lighting back here. Show you quickly how to turn your sofa into a bed. Your back cushions are velcroed on. They're removed now. I like to stand in the middle here. It gives you a little more leverage. Lift up, fold your feet out, and pull it towards you. Lay your back cushion down, and you've got a very comfy bed. Reverse the process. Put it all back. Back up. Again, stand in the middle. So you can bring your legs in. And then fold it down. Put your Velcro cushions back on. Just set quickly, you're back to a sofa. Your television. Remote's in the drawer for that. Your JBL sound system. That'll run music indoors, outdoors, or both. Fireplace. Just want to mention they're not just for looks anymore. These will really crank out some heat. Just turn it on right there. I feel heat already. So if you're plugged into the campsite and it's a little chilly in the morning or evening, instead of using up your gas, go ahead and use their electricity and keep it toasty in here. Next to the sofa, another 110 and USB ports. Your pantry with motion lighting. Self-explanatory microwave. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. And you'll notice when I turn on the gas and hit a spark, that's when it'll turn on, when your gas is on. You have an oven light as well. See several of these throughout the unit. Just so you sit right here and just shut off all the ceiling lights or the dinette lights or all exterior lights. Big residential fridge. There's a separate manual for that. Pretty easy to run. Everything's all touchscreen. Another spot for one of those Bluetooth speakers. Down here on the floor is your access panel to your fuse box and breaker box. Looks like you have mostly 15s in there, a couple of 30s. I highly recommend grabbing a handful of those to take camping with you. And your 12 volt carbon monoxide detector. Now the reason I mention this is 12 volt is because it's always running off your battery. So if you're not plugged in somewhere to charge your battery and you're going to be gone for the day, use your battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down. You have a smoke alarm in the middle of the ceiling here. Your return ducts. Going down the hallway here, this is access to the back of your shower. Here's all your lighting to turn on. One thing I want to mention in here is you got plumbing to maintain, just like you would at home. Keep an eye on it back there and behind your toilet. You're bouncing the house down the road, you don't want things to wiggle loose on you. You also have, a fan up here, exhaust fan. Come back into your bedroom. Again, a temperature reader and a light remote there and there. Individual lighting up there up above the bed. Do want to show you that this is prepped for a washer and dryer. There's a dryer location. Storage here, your 110. And storage underneath the bed. Those are a couple fold-up table chairs that you can put at your dinette or your kitchen table. This is also prepped for a television. Television bracket, 110 or 12 volt up there. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close everything up. So first thing you want to do is go through and make sure that nothing's going to be in the way or hindering any slides. Nothing around this slide. Nothing in between your kitchen and your living room and this island. Once you got everything in, you're going to go through and shut off all the lights. I'm going to do that real quick and then we'll come up here and close up the slide. One thing I forgot to mention on this control, J3 and J2 are your stabilizing jacks. So you can control that from in here. Awning 2, I'm extending, awning 2 is your small awning over your slide. Awning 1, I want to show you how far to extend that. Just until that flap falls down at 90 degrees and you can see your black bar. These also have a pitch. If you need to pull down on this, it'll pitch the water away from your campsite. Go back in here to awning 1 and we'll retract that back in. Empty awnings all the way back in. We're going to go ahead and start bringing in our slides. Go here to lock in. Come back here to slide 3. Retract. This is going to be 3. That's going to be 2. Your bedroom is going to be 1. I just also wanted you to see again When you're bringing your slide in, it's always going to look like it's going to hit the middle, but it never does. Use every inch of these. Again, it's okay to hear that for a second. And now go ahead and run the rest of the slides in. Go to slide 2 and do the same, and then slide to 1. Alright, so we've closed up all of our slides. Coming out here, you want to make sure your exterior door is all the way open before lifting up these step above steps. If you are strut assisted, they lift up pretty easy. They're actually floating on their own as we speak. Grab your handle, just set it in the door nicely. Close your exterior door. Lock and deadbolt your door. Let's lift and turn this handle, and you're all set there. Now we're going to hit our low point drains. One right here. Hit this one first. Dump that out. Come all the way around the unit. And this other side. Remember this low point drain from the slide being out. A little easier to reach down. Open that one up. Then come to your hot water heater. You'll be able to open this pressure release valve and let some water out. And then pull your drain. Go ahead and use the socket. That water will be warm. Come up here. Bring up all your stabilizer jacks. Rear retract, front retract. Draw them up from inside. Come up to this last low point drain. Dump that one. Remember, you got 3 altogether. Unhook our water. Unhook our power. Hook up our hitch. Head up to the dump station. At the dump station, you're going to hook our hose that comes in a convenience pack. Right there. You're going to come back here to your docking station, and you're going to pull your black handle. Now once it sounds like your black handle is no longer draining, keep your black handle open. Use your water pressure regulator again, and hook up to the black tank flush. Hook up your hose on that with your black handle open. Run that for a good solid 5 minutes. The guy behind you can wait 5 minutes while you wash that nastiness out of your black tank. Once you've ran that, unhook that, close your black handle, pull a gray handle. Listen for that to be done. Close your gray, pull your other gray. These are going to be your cleaner waters, your sinks, your showers. That's going to clean your sewage hose out for you. Go ahead and unhook your hose. Store it away sanitarily. And head on home. Again, we thank you for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this trailer for many years to come. Happy camping.